All right, great. I got to make sure I look good for the people watching because I'm feeling, model-esque. We just got done watching some of the episodes of the new Top Model docuseries, and I'm just thinking about how after every episode of Top Model, I would just pretend I would pose in the mirror. Like, what angle is my best angle? What shapes can my body make?
Right. So if you're watching the podcast, make sure to look and see how many different angles Matt Steele gives you throughout the recording, because he's going to be doing his best smizing. He's going to do whatever Danny did to win cycle 6, I believe, because she's my effing queen. Justice for Danny, even though she won. I still love her.
Yeah, justice for her, even though she was the winner, I guess. But let me tell you, as I've gotten older, the fewer shapes my body can make, the fewer stretches my body can do.
Yeah.
And especially in this apartment I'm in right now does not really have a mattress that is new or an actual mattress. And so my body has just been hurting.
Well, you'll be back soon on your mattress of yore, and you'll be so bendy once you get back. It's going to be great.
Oh, God. And I will be on cycle 25 of America's Next Top Model.
If it exists.
No, please, God, all the fans do not want the boys' seasons to come back again. That was not.
I liked the Niall season. I was rooting for Niall.
They're not up to par. They're not up to par. It's an all-girls show. Come on.
Wow, girls only. Okay.
Girls only. It's 2K Mats. We don't want men on our TV.
Hey, we had Prince in the last video. We've grown.
That's true. Justice for Prince.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to 2K Mats, the podcast. It's Matt Palmer.
And it's Matt Steele.
And we are back again another week. And we are recording a little bit later. So if you were expecting the podcast to come out the regular Monday, if you're just a listener, we apologize. But since it was a long weekend and I did have Sunday night plans, we pushed it back a day because you know what? It's our podcast. We don't, have a corporate overlord to appease. We're the corporate overlord. And we said, hey, one day off. And so we're back.
Listen, as someone who does not have a regular 9-to-5 job,
yes.
I was ready to go on Sunday. It's Matt Palmer's fault that you were listening to this podcast a day late because he had his plan.
I did have plans. And also, I feel like you never know when there's a Monday off because of that situation exactly. You're like, unless it's 4th of July, I don't know when it's President's Day, when it's Memorial Day, when it's Labor Day, just because to you, it's like another day in the office.
Well, and let me tell you, Monday, holidays were always the days I would work at my restaurant. And now that I'm not working at my restaurant anymore, I don't know what's up, what's down, what's a Monday to celebrate, what's a Monday to mourn.
Well, I'll be here to help you. I will tell you. I'll text you every night before a Monday holiday just to be just by the way, tomorrow's a holiday, so take it easy.
Thank you, and I will take it easy.
Good.
But Matt Palmer, what were your plans this week? What did you do? Who did you see?
Well, I did several things. So Saturday was Valentine's Day, and so obviously we did a Valentine's celebration, but we actually did it on Friday night instead of Saturday night because our friend Corey.
Sorry.
Oh, not a sneeze. He hears Valentine's. Sorry. He's allergic to love, I guess.
I'm gross. Expel it from my body.
On Saturday, our friend Corey was going to have a New Year's party, obviously, on New Year's Eve this past year, but it was rainy in LA, much like it is now. And so he was like, okay, we're going to cancel the party because he has more of an outdoor space and reschedule it for Saturday of Valentine's Day. And so we were going to that. And so instead of trying to have a speedy Valentine's dinner and then go to that, we decided to celebrate Valentine's Day on the Friday the 13th. Ooh, Friday the 13th. That seems bad. Now I'm just thinking about it. But no, it was lovely. We went to a nice restaurant, and I thought it was going to be a happy hour, but they were like, ooh, no happy hour today because it's Valentine's Day and there's a fixed menu, so we don't do fixed menus and happy hour on the same day. I'm like, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but whatever. We paid full price. We love that. And then on Sunday, I went to our friend Tim and Joe's Lunar New Year party, and that was very fun. They've been having it yearly for a few years now, and they keep getting bigger and much like the America's Next Top Model cycles. I just feel like it gets more extravagant and more extravagant every single year.
And messier and messier? Is that what you're saying?
Not messier, luckily, but it's a lot of gambling with money. And you know me, I talk about it every week for some reason now, but I'm very anti-gambling and anti losing. I don't think losing money is fun, generally.
Let me tell you, guys, in private, Matt Palmer is horrified. This is his number one cause that he is trying to get out to the young people. Don't gamble, please, you'll destroy your life. And it's there's a lot of things that young people do that could destroy their life a lot quicker, I feel.
It's mostly the online gambling. If you're like gambling like in person or whatever, but it's so prevalent. But I won't get in. I'm on my soapbox again. But this is like, okay, you're just putting a couple of dollars in, trying to get a couple of dollars back. And I will say there was a game called Left, Right, Center where you start with $3 and then you roll 3 die and everyone's going around a table. And the die either say, okay, you get to keep your dollars, you have to put your dollar in like the middle pot, or you have to pass your dollar to the left or to the right. And then the person with a dollar at the end gets the entire prize pot. And I may have won it. So that was a big moment for me. I may have walked away going a little bit up. And, and there was also like you're picking envelopes off of trees that have money in them. And like a lot of people got $1 and $2. And I did get $6, even though you could get up to 20. I didn't get the 20 this year. But the past 2 years, I had gotten the 20 in that game. Long story short, I'm very against gambling, but I'm pretty good at it. So I left the house with more money than I came in, which we love.
But see, you're different because you don't gamble for the dollar amount because Lord knows you walked away with like 5 cents. But it's like traders. You gamble for the pride. You gamble for the win to be able to get on the podcast and say, I am the winner of this year's Lunar New Year party. Like how the winners of traders, they're just like, I may have won about $50,000 and about 20% of it went to my reps and about another 25% went to taxes. So I walked away with nothing, but I get to call myself the winner of traders season, whatever.
You're absolutely right. But it is a fun thing to feel, which again is a part of the problem with online gambling is that high can only turn into a low. But it was a lovely weekend, long story short. Today we had a friend over who was a former neighbor of Jackson's, and we made like a nice pasta lunch because we hadn't seen her in a while, and it was great catching up with her. And then I took a little shower, and now I'm here talking with you.
You took a shower? Disgusting.
I mean, I think showers are good and not disgusting.
It's more like, what did you do with your week, Matt Palmer? Well, I took a shower, and it was just a little shower. Just a little shower.
How was your weekend, Matt? Did you take a shower?
Oh, I wish.
Jesus.
No, I took many showers. I took a shower every single morning, actually. Crazy, right? No, it's what I do every morning. Don't worry, everyone. Sometimes in the afternoon if I wake up a little later. But
I'm a night shower, as you know. I love a shower at night.
I need a shower like to wake me up, or else I'm just like dead for the entire day and I feel terrible. But enough about my hygiene. Speaking of showers though, my friend Drew, who is my fellow understudy in Messy White Gaze, and his comedy partner Ashley, they have this comedy duo pop group called Mega Squirt, and it's like they make hyper pop comedy music, and it's really funny. Like I think they have some stuff on Spotify and they're on like Instagram and everything. So they had a comedy show on, was it Monday or Tuesday? I forget. But so I went to that, and that was really fun. Drew unfortunately broke his foot 12 hours before the show.
What? How did he do that?
A little more than 12. He was responding to a text message and while he was walking down the subway stairs and broke his foot in like 2 different places. So he did the entire show like on crutches, which like made it like infinitely funnier. So like a true understudy, he made it work. With little rehearsal with the new props and body arrangement he had. So very proud of him. This entire week has been very stressful and scary for me because I need to get back to LA immediately, because when I got to New York, I was like, I'm going to buy myself a big pack of white socks. And those will be my white socks for my time in New York, for my like 5 months in New York.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, day by day, each one of those white socks is getting a hole in the heel. Oh. It's a new sock every single day. And each day it's like I take the sock off and I'm like, well, I can't use this sock anymore. And then the next day it's like, oh, well, this sock's no good anymore. And so I'm running out of my socks, and I'm really, really scared because I'm not going to buy a new pack of white socks because I don't want to lug new socks with me to LA and everything. And I'm not going to buy them for just this week and a half that I'm going to still be in New York. So it's like, but I also don't want to walk around with like holes in the heels of my socks. And so my socks are slowly dying. Therefore, I feel like I'm slowly dying because I'm just like, I just feel like the weight of everything coming down on me because the skin of my heel is like touching my shoe, which I find repulsive. It makes me want to shower at night, including in the morning.
Well, I feel like maybe this is just a sign from the universe that it is time for you to come back. Maybe like as soon as you get the final hole, you'll be like getting on the plane back to LA. I feel like it's just the universe telling you, yes, your days are numbered in New York. LA is calling to you. Get those sock heels fixed up.
Okay, but the rate at which the holes are coming is not the rate at which I'm flying to. I'm flying to LA the morning of the 27th, and I don't have the sockage to withstand that. I'm just gonna have to have a couple days where I wear some socks with holes in them.
Well, that'll be tough. But so speaking of signs, I walked outside of my house the other day to find a dead crow on its back, and I'm like, that can't be a good sign, right? Like, I feel like that's very ominous.
That poor crow.
I know. We were trying to figure out what happened, but I was talking to this girl who like knows a lot about crows, and she's like, it could have been something bad, like a coyote could have gotten it, but also crows do die of old age. And I was like, it was a big crow, so maybe it was fully grown. But I also am like, well, I don't want to touch. I'm like, I don't know how to like remove it because I'm certainly not going to touch it. And then it was rainy today, so I don't think like the gardeners that came. And I'm like, I don't want another week with the crow because it's just like a weird thing to see as you're leaving your house every day. But, you know, hopefully by the time you get back here and come to my house, there won't be a crow lying dead in the front yard. That's the hope.
Thank you. I appreciate you cleaning up for me.
Yes, exactly.
You're a very good host. I appreciate that. That poor crow, though. I hope he had a long, fulfilling journey that we call life.
Absolutely.
And that maybe he like chose your place to die specifically. He was like, this is the most beautiful spot in town. I'm going to lay myself here and let nature do its bidding.
Okay, that's a beautiful way to look at it.
Also, I have a question. Who do you know that knows a lot about crows?
Tim's sister, actually, the host of the Lunar New Year party, is like a big crow fanatic, and like, cause she makes friends. She likes birds in general, but like crows have really long memories, and she like makes friends with crows, and they like follow her around because she gives them food. So she's like a crow aficionado for sure.
Oh, good for her.
I know. It's good.
God, what am I doing with my life?
This podcast, and that's it.
But what information am I imparting on these people? Like, she can give good information about crows.
Hey, we will give good information about the first episode and a half of the America's Next Top Model docuseries that we watched.
Listen, some of us did more of our homework and watched 2 full episodes. So I can give information about both full episodes, not the last episode.
I was going to say. So none of us did perfect homework. But again, I had an old neighbor of Jackson's coming over. I couldn't like spend time when we're supposed to be making pasta watching Top Model docuseries.
Also, today I was at a birthday party. I was at a 2-year-old's birthday party, so I was having a good time. You know, with them and celebrating whenever a child used the potty. Yeah, it was a good time. And but the documentary literally just came out today, so I only could watch some of it.
Yeah, we're doing the best we can, and happy birthday to that baby. So congrats on 2.
Hugo.
Hey Hugo, thanks for watching. Okay, should we jump into the news for idiots?
Let's go.
Okay, so as we mentioned just a moment ago, America's Next Top Model, there is a new documentary on Netflix, like diving into the history of the show. It is a 3-episode docuseries that Tyra is involved in, but I don't think she actually I don't think she had the creative control over it, which like as you watch the docuseries, it becomes more and more clear, but I assume it's just going to be a little bit more balanced than the one that's coming in March from one of the former contestants who called her a slimy snake or whatever.
Sure. That one actually is produced by Janice Dickinson.
I was going to say, because Janice is mentioned in this one, but she's certainly not a talking head. And, they show
certainly not portrayed well.
They show not every, because it would be an hours long thing, but like a montage of the terrible things that she would tell these girls at the judging table. Like, and even not even tell the girls, but like behind their back, it's like, she is too chubby to be a model. And they'd cut to Tyra being like, well, I think like that is a bad thing to like say to someone. And like the reason why people have eating disorders today, we don't want to contribute to that culture. But the supercut of Janice being pretty awful was pretty damning, I gotta say.
Yeah, and having Tyra and like Mr. and Miss J say, and like Nigel even being just like, and Janice would say things and we would be there to try to like neutralize her. Yeah, and it's just like, ooh, you could tell they all had a hard time with her there.
100%.
I thought you could tell that they were trying to do some semblance of the right thing, and Janice was there being like, I'm going to be television, baby.
Yeah, I mean, it was the time of American Idol. It was like every panel needed its Simon Cowell, you know? And they talk about how the show was inspired by American Idol meets the real world, hence why they all lived in that house together. I actually forgot that the show was on UPN because I saw the reruns on CW, but CW didn't even exist at that point. So I'm like, oh, they went to all the major networks, everyone turned them down, and then they got to UPN, and they're like, yeah, why not? We're failing anyways. Hopefully this does well for us. And man, did it.
Well, didn't UPN turn into the CW?
Yes, I think the UPN and WB merged and became the CW.
That's what it was.
Yes,
exactly. And I always forget that America's Next Top Model was was after American Idol.
I do too.
Like, to me, America's Next Top Model was like 2000, 2001.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh no, I guess it wasn't. It was like 2002, 2003.
Right. So they also have a few of the contestants that are coming in and giving talking heads. Like Shannon, I think had the sunniest disposition of the contestants who at least I have met and, you know, talking to them in these one-on-ones. Ebony and Giselle. Oh, I had forgotten that Giselle had such bad feedback and like was so given such harsh critiques. And then you watch Ebony and what they say to this girl, like Tyra Banks calling her up and saying, hey, the judges think you look ashy every day. It's like, are you serious? This is what we're doing to our like cast of color that like rightly Ken Mock and Tyra were like, we don't want just one non-white person on the season. We want more diversity. But then to have that diversity and then to treat them, I don't know. I felt like Ebony especially got a really tough edit from my memory, and like they're like, her skin is too rough, she is too hard, she reads as aggressive and angry. It's like, you just mean she's a dark-skinned black woman. Like, what does she do besides come in, take your critiques, and like, you know, also she's gay, and like maybe that's a part of it, but it just was like, it broke my heart watching her in that talking head because it seemed like she really went through it.
A dark-skinned black woman who just kind of simply had opinions.
Exactly. How dare she?
Yeah. So I remember her like getting that edit and everything. I did not know actually that Ashley was considered like a negative like way of phrasing it. Like, because when I was growing up, people would say, oh, like I'm looking ashy all the time. And I never knew that it was deemed like I knew that, you know, you would moisturize to like have your skin be more moisturized, but like I didn't know that was like a rude term.
I think telling someone that they look ashy is rude. Saying like, oh, I'm a little ashy, I need to put on lotion is not rude, but it's like, unless you're my mother, you cannot refer to me as ashy. Like in any context, that is my feeling. So I also thought it was fun to just meet up with Mr. and Mrs. J again. Because it's also like, I had forgotten those flashbacks of Mr. J. I'm like, oh, I thought he was so cute. Even with his silly hair and his like see-through shirts, I was like, what's his deal? And Miss J is just such a light. And I'm so glad that they were involved. And like, part of me wonders if this Top Model reboot is actually happening. Like, are they actually going to be involved? I know I haven't gotten to the part where like apparently there's some sort of falling out or like information that they're just co-workers between Jay Manuel and Tyra. And I did see the headline that was like, spoiler alert if you haven't gotten this far, I haven't either. But the headline was essentially like, Miss J currently cannot walk because, you know, he is recovering from a stroke and Tyra has not visited him and does not, I don't know. And he said, apparently Miss J said yet. And so there's still a door cracked open, but it's just like, I don't know. You kind of, especially when you hear about how they were just a part of Tyra's team. And as she's conceptualizing the show, she brings them in because she's like, this is who needs to be here. This is like so important. David Bowie even saw the premiere episode and talked to Mr. J and was like, this is what you should be doing. So the fact that those friendships are no longer where they were makes me a bit sad.
Yeah, I saw a clip. I saw a clip of both Miss J saying that, you know, he had a stroke, and which I did not know, and
no idea.
Was just like devastated that someone who like was such like a powerful presence in how they walked can no longer walk. You know, it's so devastating, and I'm really like pulling for him and hoping that, you know, like he can get stronger and get better and everything. And I also saw a clip of Tyra talking about how the network wanted to fire like Nigel and the two Jays, and Tyra really didn't want to, but Tyra was just like, I was like forced to do it, and like I also had to be the one to tell them, like it's. So I'm just like, I'm assuming that's in episode 3 because that's not something that I've gotten to yet. Yeah, but I you know, they talked. I liked how they started the docuseries off with them talking about Tyra being like, I really wanted to show the world a Miss J and like see how like incredible this person is and how important they are in the fashion industry to teach girls how to walk confidently and as themselves and like really like highlighting Mr. J's talents and everything. So I really appreciated that. But then we get into the first like half hour is like the creation of the series, and you're like, oh, this is fun. I remember these moments.
It starts really glossy, and you're like, oh, what a time. What a beautiful idea. Everything's going great for Tyra getting this show greenlit. What bad could happen? And then...
And I love the second half of the first episode is very much about like season 1. And I remember rewatching season 1 and just thinking like, where were they shooting? Like, as you could tell, they were like, and they said it, they were just like, we were shooting everything in one hotel.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can really tell everything is so claustrophobic in the shots. You truly can't see where they are. And then it talked about how like cycle 2, they moved to like a studio, like a sound studio and everything. And it's like, oh, you can really tell the difference between cycle 1 and cycle 2, the budget differences, like they were able to fly them to Milan and everything.
That the Shandy story in cycle 2 really broke my heart. And it's like something that I think was in the vague recesses of my memory. Like the fact that like she cheated on her boyfriend, quote unquote, and like they made a whole storyline around it. But then in her retelling, it's like, this is a 20-year-old girl who has, she says, consumed 2 bottles of wine on her own. And it's just like, there's no other way around it. In 2026, if you are blacked out and someone has sex with you, you have been sexually assaulted. You cannot like consent in that state. And I understood what Ken Mock was saying a little, because he's like, I mean, we told them it's a documentary. We're just there to watch. But it's like, at some point, you have a responsibility to protect these girls. Someone should have stepped in, especially when they moved out of the hot tub. It's like, okay, this girl is not going to remember this in the morning. This guy, we've just hired him to be like eye candy or like on a motorcycle with them through these go-see episodes. Like, poor Shandy, another example of like these girls just not being protected the way they should have been and the way they would be today if the show was being made. And I don't know, when they replayed that phone call and they just had the camera locked on Shandy in current day, there's no way to watch that and be like, not have your heart break for her. Because it's like, you have been manipulated. And it's not like, oh, it's a small little B plot storyline. The name of the episode is The Girl Who Cheated. They set up a whole sit down conversation with Tyra out of nowhere where they're like, ooh, I've been cheated on. Anybody else have any comment? It's like,
oh, that was so rough that Tyra was brought like there to talk about cheating and everything the day after.
It's awful.
This happened to Shandy, and just how terrible that like Shandy was sexually assaulted and then made to feel like she was the person at fault. And it kind of they say throughout the docuseries all the time, like, well, it was kind of just like a sign of the times. It was kind of the sign of the times and everything. And it's like, which it was,
sure.
We talked about sexual assault in different ways at that time. Like, whenever, if a girl got drunk on her own accord and a sexual activity happened in some sort, like back then people would just describe it as, oh, she got really drunk and had sex with this guy. But now, decades later, we understand like how these girls are taken advantage of and everything, and it's very clearly now considered sexual assault. And it just also shows like how people were so naive as to how to run reality TV back in the day.
Yes. They were just, it was like so guerrilla style, which is like cool to watch, but it's also like, I just feel like at some point you have to have responsibility for the people that you're in a contractual agreement with. Like, you need to keep them all safe and let like clearly was not happening. And then the Kin Mock says something about like, well, we did cut back a lot of that storyline, XYZ. And then Mr. J, I think, is the one who says, well, the only reason it got cut back and re-edited was because of the Janet Jackson Super Bowl incident and Les Moonves and all of this. There were so many more restrictions on like what sexual things can be shown on television. So that wasn't for Shandy. It was for, Les.
Sure. And then after that, we get into the crazy photo shoots. Ooh. With the season cycle 4, I believe it was, where they had the girls be portrayed as different races, and then cycle 13, where they had the girls be portrayed as mixed races, neither of which race they were. And so
Jesus.
It's like, oh, you did this again, and it's all of that stuff, like the stuff about Danielle closing the gap of her teeth, and the fact that they talk about Joni's tooth, because Joni was very insecure about her one crooked tooth that she had, which I always thought was stunning on her, but because I always thought she was stunning, but she was always very self-conscious about it. But they were like, we're gonna fix that for you, and she was like, oh, I'm so excited. She was also God knows how old, early 20s. I don't know, 23 max. I don't know how old she was, but and she was just like, yeah, they just kind of shaved my teeth down and plastered on these sort of veneers, but they didn't do actual real orthodontic work to me. So it kind of still, my teeth are still fucked up,
right?
And nothing can really be done about it. And it's just God.
I know.
Jeez.
And the fact that they pulled 4 of her teeth and they showed, because the thing is, the idea of veneers, even for people who are adults and really wanting them, just the idea of knowing that you have to shave the teeth down and put the caps on them freaks me out. And they were showing it. I mean, I don't know how much was on the show versus what was in the docuseries, but they showed me, and it really just makes the heart go, oh my goodness. And so in the other room, Danny is there being no, I don't want this. I love my gap. This is who I am. And so she turns it down. But then when she's being judged, when she's basically Tyra says, you need to do this or you're going to get kicked off the show. You can't be a cover girl with a smile like that. And so she basically is given 2 options. It's like when, in the Traders, when a trader's you can either be recruited or you're going home. Everyone's picking the other option because they don't want to go home. So it's she really was between a rock and a hard place. And I was impressed, honestly, that Danielle said no for as long as she did. But was this necessary? Especially she mentioned that in the future, they'd be adding gaps to girls' teeth. It's just... and Tyra mentioned it, how she's every cycle we had to up the ante. It's what the audience wanted. And she said something wild about and I can just feel and just know what the audiences want before they want it. And I'm okay, whatever. But I get it that that's what you need for reality TV. But the show would have been good if you didn't have to throw them over a balcony and, pretend that they got shot in the head and put tarantulas on their face. It didn't need to. I don't know why Fear Factor was thought of as competition. I wasn't watching Fear Factor. I was watching Top Model. I didn't need it to be pushed to the limit in that way. But I realized they were just trying to be the biggest and pull every audience in. And so I guess that's what happened.
Yeah, and I don't mind the crazy things they would have the models do in terms of oh, they have to walk down a runway in a bubble. Oh, they have to that kind of stuff where it's no model would ever be asked to do this. But stuff that was harmless and kind of silly was very enjoyable and everything. But sometimes it would just go wild. And all this is stuff that has been sort of dissected to death over the last 5, 6, 7 years. Everyone knows about the teeth thing. Everyone knows obviously about the photo
race
shoots
swapping.
With the race swapping and everything. But I wish we in this docuseries we got a little more perspective on the decision making process of that. True, honest, as opposed to just being Tyra, how do you feel about it? And she's I'm so sorry. I wish there was more of this was our thought process, and that way we could, even though it was wrong,
right,
that way we could see a little bit more into actually what happened.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? I know there is a long-standing rumor that the top model winner is chosen at the beginning of the season.
True? I'd never heard that.
That's always kind of been the rumor, that the winner is always kind of predetermined by especially when they had the contract with CoverGirl. CoverGirl was this is who we want, or they were at least these are the 3 who we want, XYZ. And so I do wonder if Tyra telling Danielle you will not win if you do not close your gap was her being like, they want you to win, be the winner, but do not, but CoverGirl does not want you to win unless you do this. I wonder if that was her kind of like just sort of giving her the truth of what the situation was, which is, it's hard. And it kind of also goes to show how different trends move, I guess, within any artistic community, because then several years later, Cycle 15, they were like, Chelsea, they love your gap. Like, especially with Cycle 15 was more focused specifically towards high fashion. That was like considered the high fashion season. So it did kind of show like the hard truth of just like, some people are going to want your gap. Some people aren't going to want your gap. Maybe the people who you want you don't want your gap, and you got to make that choice. I do not remember, they didn't talk about this in the docuseries, but Danielle did sort of negotiate. She was like, I will close my gap a little bit, but I do still want there to be a bit of a gap in there.
Yeah, good. And I mean, she looks stunning sitting in that chair. And so I'm glad they're all hopefully making peace with this. I'll watch the next episode before next week and see if we have any final thoughts. But I mean, it was well made. And I feel like I was thinking it was going to be more glossed over. It was going to be more like Tyra's in control, and so nothing bad can be said. And it didn't feel like that. It felt a little bit more well-rounded. And I wonder if the other one's going to feel like just like a full-on hit piece, or if we're just going to get more details to like the flaws that they're admitting to in this version. But I'm invested.
So what do you think is going to happen with Cycle 25 of America's Next Top Model, which they just announced is happening?
I mean, if it's really happening, I assume it's on Netflix. And I hope that it's the old judging panel. That it would be the smartest thing, in my opinion, is like have Miss J there, have Mr. J there, have Nigel there, if they all want to work in this capacity, and have the show feel more like it did in season 1, with a little more focus on the modeling and a little less focus on the drama. They obviously have to protect their people a lot better than they did back in the day. But I feel like this, docu-series, I feel like is already a big hit, going to continue to be a big hit, and like whet the appetite for people to want more. And if they can do it in a way that it's less problematic but still entertaining, I would watch. I would.
See, I want more of a focus on the drama. I don't want the problematic drama, but I want some, like ANTM. If it did one thing, it always gave you some fun drama. I mean, it's so hard because you watch this show and you want to see the drama, you want to see these wild personalities, but it got to some points where it's like, are we exploiting these very, very young, very, very naive girls? Especially because like reality TV was so interesting back then, because they would find people like from these like really hard situations. Like there were so many top model contestants who were just like, yeah, I lived in my car for several years, and yeah, my mother abandoned us, or I remember Anjali was like, my daughter passed away, and like all this stuff. And so you got these really, really rich, interesting people, but also you got people who weren't necessarily like PR trained, or didn't really necessarily know how to handle being thrust into this spotlight type of situation. So in that way, it felt like it could get exploitative. I know there has to be some sort of harmonious balance we can find so that it doesn't turn into America's Next Top Best Friend, because that's not what I want.
It's not what the people want. And hey, I'm a Bravo watcher. I know there's a way to create drama that's not problematic. And not to say that Bravo's not problematic. We'll get to the next story in a second, but there are ways. There are ways to do it. And so I believe they can strike the balance. And I will say, versus like other appearances, I've seen Tyra recently trying to hawk her like hot ice cream or whatever. And she seems really grounded in this docuseries. Because for a minute there, I was like, I didn't know what was going on with her, and I didn't know if this would be a good project for her to take back up again. But she seems grounded, and like she really cares about this. She has a lot of history with it. Like it was fully her brainchild. And I wonder if like when she comes up with things like the hot ice cream, she's like, it's going to be as big as Top Model. Like, does she I wonder if she's like, this is all going to work out. But lightning doesn't strike twice.
I just want to see what this fucking hot ice cream looks like. It is popping up on all my shit. And my really good friend Arthur, who literally just texted me the second I said his name, I see his push notification on my phone. He is obsessed with Tyra, obsessed with Top Model, and he's a phenomenal photographer. And he always tries to recreate iconic Top Model photo shoots himself, with his own photography and everything. That's how much he loves it. And so he's always sending me Tyra content and everything. And I'm just like, girl, you are talking about this hot ice cream, but you're not physically showing it to us.
Yeah.
And as a person who's repulsed by melted ice cream, I want to know what it looks like, so I know if this is something that I should steer clear from.
From afar, I think yes. If I get more information on it, if I get a picture of it, we can double back and see if it's something for you. But just from its description, I think stay away. I think you don't want it to be hot. The whole thing with ice cream for you don't want it to be hot.
I want it to be freezing cold and unmelted. And she's not giving me any of that.
No, I don't think she is. So, we'll finish the doc next week. We'll see how it all goes. But it is riveting and it is more balanced than I was expecting it. So I would definitely recommend the docuseries, at least the first episode and a half. I was enjoying it. Absolutely. But Jill Zarin, unfortunately, was not enjoying Bad Bunny's performance at the Super Bowl halftime show. And while we were recording the podcast last week, she took to her Instagram stories to express her distaste. Jill Zarin, just if you are, a person who doesn't watch Bravo, she was one of the original housewives of New York City. She was on that show, I believe, from 2008 to 2011, got fired in 2011, and has been dying to get back on TV for over a decade. And she just 2 weeks ago, I was like, hey, there's going to be an E spinoff based on the OG cast of New York, including Jill. It's called The Golden Life. She has been cast. They're going to start filming soon. They want it out by the end of the year, until Jill shot herself in the foot and got on Instagram and said the following: I don't speak Spanish. I would have liked to have known the words that he was saying. To me, it looked like a political statement because there were literally no white people in the entire thing. Lady Gaga, who is white, was featured prominently in the halftime show singing her version of Die With a Smile. And Jill did note that in her diatribe, in her rant. She said, and we couldn't even figure out who Lady Gaga was because her facelift, she's unrecognizable. Which, let me stop right here. Jill's facelift in the past, I'd say 8 months is truly the craziest thing I've ever seen. Under every post, it's who is that? Who are you? Who is this? So it's this is the clearest pot kettle situation I've ever seen. And also, Gaga has looked like that for a minute. It just was rude and nasty. And she also goes on to say more disgusting things about how she feels NFL selecting Bad Bunny was the NFL selling out because she believes the concert was quote unquote an ice thing. And it just really made her sad to see. And it's so bitch, are you saying you're pro ice? I get it. She went, and I had to turn a blind eye. I knew she went to the 2016 inauguration or 2017, whatever. I didn't know she went to the last one. I didn't know that she has moved further right than ever she was before. And to go on a minutes long diatribe that not only did your daughter have to come out and be I disagree with my mom. She pans to her husband or partner or whatever. And he was I thought it was great. I don't know why you're so mad. And she continues to double down with the racist points to the point where it's we're all Jill, what are you doing? What are you talking about? We don't want to see you on TV. Everyone at E. And then a day or two later comes out, Jill Zarin has been fired from The Golden Life on E. It took no time at all because she is a master of her own disaster. If you want to not succeed, do everything Jill does. And again, I had a soft spot for her because she was kind of motherly at the beginning of that show. She got pushed off because of her feud with Bethany, and Bravo was in Bethany's pocket. And so I felt like she got the short end of the stick. But baby, this is all you. This is your fault. You also saying there was going to be an OG Roni reunion that she also torpedoed because she wanted more money. That she's just allergic to being successful and being back on television. And I have nothing for her because why you feel the need to not only have so much racism within you that you must let it out and be posted on the internet. Because do I believe Ramona Singer didn't feel the exact same way? Of course she did, but at least she was smart enough not to put it on the internet. What are you doing? What is not clicking? I can't.
It's crazy to me that her husband watched her make this video and didn't say, babe, don't post that. Don't
I bet people
hit post.
The thing is, I bet he did. I bet her daughter did. And she's like, no, why not? It's my opinion. I should be able to say, it's a free country. I should be able to say what I want. It's like, well, it is free. And this is what happens.
But then, like, if I were a husband, I'd be like, babe, you're also, like, fucking with our family's money. So I have a say in kind of a little bit what you post as well, if it's going to be something this opinionated.
And
like, sorry.
And it goes on in that her first husband, Bobby Zarin, is like, basically they had, when she was on the show back in like 2008 or whatever, they had Zarin Fabrics, very famous New York City fabric store, that had to come out, post a picture on their Instagram, which is just a headshot of Jill with a giant red X over it. Saying Jill has not been involved in Zarin Fabrics for years. We don't stand with her. We don't stand with racism. So don't think that we don't like her here. Long story short.
I mean, putting it bluntly, just put that X over the face and call
X.
it a day.
The
don't
biggest
do
X you've ever
anything
seen.
subtle. Wow.
And
Just
then
a big old X.
Her step-grandson, I think, took to Reddit and was like, I'm Jill Zarin's step-grandson, ask me anything. And like did a lot of back and forth of like, yeah, Jill's always been awful. We were always confused as to how she got a few good edit those first few years. But then by season 3, the real Jill came out. This is who she is. She's hateful. She's a social climber. And it's like, I think it's because it was the first... New York was the first franchise I watched, and Jill did come across great in those first seasons, so I held on to her. I gotta let her go. Like, Stassi is literally on the internet being like, that was amazing, and if you didn't like it, you're a racist. And I'm like, oh, I can't believe Stassi's less racist than Jill.
I believe Stassi's less racist than Jill,
I
but
think she learned it. I think she figured it out. Jill
yeah, she figured out when to hit post and when to not hit post. Also, the crazy thing is, Jill and like a number of these people who are complaining about the Super Bowl halftime show, they're just like, we didn't even understand the lyrics because they were all in Spanish. And it's like, oh, please. Like, anyone watches the Super Bowl halftime show for the lyrical content.
Right.
Like Taylor Swift, whenever she does the Super Bowl halftime show, is going to be up there singing folklore anything. Okay. Talking about the trio, whatever that is, with the cardigan and the Betty and everything, and the entire audience is going to be like, oh, did you hear that Easter egg? No. Get out of here if you're trying to tell me you listen for any lyrical content.
Right.
Okay? Who cares if you understood the lyrics or not?
It's like, I believe one day Ariana Grande is going to be up there singing at the Super Bowl. And are we going to understand a word? Absolutely not. Nope. There will be no consonants, and we will love it. It will be brilliant.
At this rate, she will be singing the entire score of Sunny in the Park with George. So that will be a Super Bowl halftime show that I will be tuned in for. Thank you.
I mean, it really could be that. So, Jill, I hate to have to send you off into the sunset, but there's no defending this. You're indefensible. To quote Kyle Richards talking about Kim Richards in Amsterdam, how am I supposed to defend you? You're indefensible. Goodbye.
X.
X. Britney Spears sold the rights to her catalog and other rights to Primary Wave. Supposedly, she has sold her song catalog and an unclear number of other rights to Primary Wave. Two sources are confirming to Variety. The details are pretty under wraps, but it's supposed to be comparable to the $200 million publishing sale that I think Justin Bieber had kind of recently. There are a lot of options to exploit her catalog. Obviously, there's going to be a biopic based on her The Woman in Me memoir, and there was a jukebox musical based on her hits Once Upon a One More Time. Since it's all kind of under wraps, it's unclear if it's like, did we just sell her publishing rights to like the few songs that she wrote? Who knows what she sold? But she got a lot of money for it, but it also makes me a little worried. I was listening to Gloria again this weekend, and it's such an excellent album, and I'm like, she's really not going to do this anymore, is she? She's
No way.
Come on. What if I want it really badly? What if I want it as hard as I can? I wish upon the North Star. Could it happen?
There are people out there on the planet who want it more than you, girl. Trust.
It's true.
And we don't always get what we want. I want Britney to be happy, and that's what I want.
I do too. But also, at some point, I do believe making music and dancing made her happy. Like, I know she has been so beyond burned by this industry. It makes all the sense in the world to, distance herself. And she made some post recently on, she's like, I hope to perform with my child one day in the UK and Australia and play piano and wear a rose in my hair, but I'll never perform in the US again for like sensitive reasons. And I'm like, I mean, we love a queen with boundaries, but I also love toxic. And I also love the Glory album, top to bottom. Just Love Me so good. I love Autumn Goodbye. Like, I just want if she could give us one thing. Like, I was thinking, because I heard on another podcast, they're like, what if they did like a TRL themed halftime show, which they kind of have done before, but like a nostalgia version. Have her pop out, do the oops dance one time, lip sync the whole thing. I'd be thrilled. Please.
I saw that too, and I was just like, I don't know if that's going to happen, girls. Honestly, if she just popped up and did what Victoria did in that 2007 Spice Girls reunion, just walked down the catwalk,
I'd love it.
I'd be like, this is great.
I would too. So I just, I will much like Jill Zarin in general, I guess I have to let my dream of Britney coming back to music go, but it's just hard. The Independent Spirit Awards happened. Did you know anything about that? Do you see any? I see that Train Dreams took home the big winner, was Best Feature.
Yep.
How did you feel about the results there?
I thought they were all very good. The Independent Spirit Awards are always really fun. I feel like they're usually like the week before or like the day before the Oscars, and so I feel like they were pretty early this year, like earlier than they usually are. The Independent Spirit Awards, I remember the famous 2020 ceremony where they sang the Laura Dern song. The Gay Men's Choir sang at every gay moment in independent film that year, and they ended up with this giant Laura Dern song, and that was kind of the last time I was happy, because like a month later the world was shut down.
Of course.
But yeah, no, I know Sorry Baby won screenplay. I know Rose Byrne won Best Leading Performance. Naomi Ackie won supporting performance for her performance in Sorry Baby. The Independent Spirit Awards are always really fun. I think I'm glad Train Dreams got a nice win there. I really loved Train Dreams, and nice. I'd really love for it to see it win an Oscar somewhere. I mean, like, I think it has the best chance of winning in cinematography, but you never know.
Right. And we're about a month away from the Oscars now. We're counting down, people. Get ready.
I know. I'll have socks without holes in them at that point.
That'll be really nice. Lastly, I just need to talk about several people who passed away in this past week. It feels like there have been a lot. James Van Der Beek passed away after a battle with cancer. He was 48. Very sad. He is survived by his widow and 6 children. It's just sad to see him go. Like, we grew up. I wasn't like a Dawson's Creek watcher per se, but like, that's just too young for anyone to go. And he certainly has been around for a very long time. So, heart goes out to him and his family. Secondly, Billy Steinberg, who wrote Like a Virgin. Let me say that again. He wrote Like a Virgin by Madonna, has passed away at 74. He also wrote True Colors by Cyndi Lauper, So Emotional by Whitney Houston. I Drove All Night by Cyndi Lauper. Celine Dion covered it as well. Too Little Too Late by JoJo. Like, this is a person who had hits upon hits decades after decades, which is very difficult to do. Like, a lot of people have, much like pop stars, it's like they have their moment and then like they kind of fade out. And he was relevant for a very long time because he can just make an undeniable chorus. Like, the thing, that through line between all of those songs I mentioned is those choruses are always going to get stuck in your head, but it doesn't seem like it's overly simplistic either. It's like there's a complexity to these songs. It's just very sad.
It is, yeah. But, baby, life fades, but choruses last forever.
Absolutely, they do. We'll be singing Like a Virgin for the rest of our lives, and
forever.
His music will live on. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yes. And then
also,
lastly,
Robert Duvall died.
That was the last one I saw. Robert Duvall passed away at 95. I don't know that I've seen a movie with Robert Duvall. I know he's in The Godfather, The Great Santini. What do you know? What do you know him best from?
Have you seen To Kill a Mockingbird?
I have not.
Oh, you need to see To Kill a Mockingbird, Matt. I mean, he has a very small part in it, but like a very, very wildly memorable part. I remember he was in The Judge in 2014. That was his last Oscar nomination. Yeah, just like an actor who's always kind of like been around forever and was always kind of like ageless to me. Like, truly, he was always kind of like a guy in his late 70s who was playing all those roles and everything. So all these like people who who've contributed a lot to our lives, and wishing their families all the best. Especially like James Van Der Beek, 6 kids. That's a big household to leave behind. That's really, really sad.
Very sad. Okay, I think that's all I have for News for Idiots this week. Is there anything else you want to tell the people?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, let's take a quick break and then we'll be back with more 2K Mats, the podcast.
Hey guys, we're back.
We are back.
And we have a fun email my heart that I have not read yet. So I'm just going to like wing it and had to fly by the seat of my pants, just like ANTM style first season, where it was just like we're turning the cameras on and going. But first, Matt Palmer, tell the people what they need to do.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to and or watching the podcast. If you enjoy us, please go to your Spotify or Apple podcast and leave us a 5-star rating or review. We, again, only accept 5 stars. If you have something negative to say, you can keep it to yourself. Also, if you really love us, go to patreon.com/2gaymats, where you can get extra bonus content from us so very regularly. We're actually going to react to the new Hilary Duff album this week, and it will be up exclusively on the Patreon, unedited, for about a full week before it hits the YouTube. So it'd be a lovely place to be. You can join the Discord, chit-chat with us all the live long day, hang out with friends you haven't met yet. It's the place to be. But Matt Steele.
Yes.
What section of the podcast are we in?
We are on Email My Heart. This is the section of the podcast where we answer any questions that you guys might have. You can be a part of Email My Heart if you email us at 2gaymats@gmail.com. 2 is spelled TWO. So we have an email from the wonderful Hunter, and Hunter says the subject line is Forgotten Controversies. And it's, hey, I've been having a bit of a hard time receiving content recently because all I can think about when certain celebrities pop up are the controversies that we have seemed to forget about as a society. I've seen a lot of Lizzo content, and have we forgotten about her sexual assault allegations? John Hamm has never been bigger, but every time I see him, I think about how he hazed a classmate to near death back in college. I genuinely enjoy the early music of Katy Perry, but I don't even play it anymore because it was revealed that she voted for Rick Caruso. There was also a controversy about Matt and Bowen on Las Culturistas, who I love and listened to for years, saying some extremely tone-deaf things about Jasmine Crockett, but that seemed to last about all of 5 days with 2 very small apologies on their stories. I could really go on, but the biggest one is that we've all just collectively accepted that the allegations against Michael Jackson have gone away. Not me. I have a friend who's playing Michael in the MJ musical tour, and I honestly can't believe that the show exists, let alone is embraced by all these people. Am I crazy or maybe just too plugged in? Some of these things are really serious, and I don't understand how the public picks and chooses who to cancel and who to look past. I realize that no one is perfect, and we cannot expect celebrities to have perfect backgrounds, but it's stopping me from enjoying anything.
I think this is very interesting. And and it kind of came up earlier because someone had mentioned in our 6th album bracket, why did we mention Michael Jackson's Thriller and all of this? I think a way that is helpful for me is like, I cannot control what other people do. Like, it's very much like my morality and like what I choose to engage with, knowing, all this history about the people making the art is my choice. Like, I cannot tell other people like, hey, don't watch Woody Allen movies or don't put on Michael Jackson. Like, that's not up to me. All I can say is like, you know what? I'm not going to listen to this. I'm not going to promote this. I feel like this crossed the line for me personally. And so if you see something with Lizzo on it, you just got to keep scrolling. Like, there are going to be people that you do feel like, yeah, I do want to engage with their art. They haven't done anything that feels like crossed the line in my book. But again, there are always going to be something to help you out with. Cancellation isn't real. Like, people will always be able to grift. Like, if Jill Zarin ends up on Fox News in 3 weeks, I'm not surprised. Like, there's no world in which someone is truly wiped off the map because they've done something problematic or, allegedly done something criminal. People like Chris Brown is still touring. You know what I mean? Like, there are always going to be people who are not fazed by that. And to try and solve that is too big of a problem for any one person to solve. Like, all you can really control is yourself and what you enjoy and what you take in. And so you get to decide, this person I'm going to engage with, even though they did X, Y, and Z, but this person I'm not going to, because it is too far afield for me to even enjoy them in the same way. Nobody's perfect, as you mentioned, but again, the thing that'll, I think, give you a lot more peace is you don't have to control what other people are doing. You can only control what you're engaging with, what content you're, taking in, what podcasts you listen to, what music you listen to, and that's all you're willing to be responsible for.
Yeah, and I think you kind of also have to realize that like the reason why these people are, so big and everything is because most of these people who actually know who these other people are like don't necessarily know about these controversies. I guarantee you if I were to walk up to someone on the street and be like, "Did you hear about that Lizzo controversy? That was what, a year and a half ago or 2 years ago maybe?" They would be like, "What Lizzo controversy?"
Right.
Like the John Hamm thing you mentioned, I've never even heard of that.
I didn't know about
like,
that either.
And I feel like I'm relatively plugged in. I guarantee you, I walk down the street and ask most people if they know who Matt Rogers is, that they would not know. So we're very like plugged in people. And it seems like you're very plugged into what's happening to pop culture and everything. But you also have to understand, like, not everyone really knows about all this stuff. Even like the Leaving Neverland documentary. While a lot of people did watch it, most people in the world didn't. I guarantee you, if I were to walk up to my mom and be like, "Hey, did you hear about Katy Perry?" She would be like, "Who's that?" So it's
She doesn't know she is even.
No, it's my mom,
Really?
like a grown, like much older woman. So we're very plugged in. That's why I think it's understandable why, regardless of whether these people did it or not, or how bad the thing is they did, is bad enough to be canceled, XYZ. It's a lot of people just don't even know that these scandals really exist.
Yeah.
And I think, again, you say, like, no one is perfect. Everyone has done problematic things in their lives at some point. Lord knows we are people who put ourselves on the internet multiple times a week. And who knows what we have said in the past that was not like optically perfect and everything. So I'm not saying like, oh, you must forgive everyone for everything. But, you can be a little discerning of just like what is, what you can move on from and what you can't. Like Katy Perry voting for Caruso, whatever, girl, do what you're going to do. Like, that's sort of something where it's like, I'm not even going to think about that because it's not, like, he didn't win. He was never going to win. Like, it was always going to be Karen Bass. So, it's not something that I, like, really worried about. So I think just sort of, like, having that, just it's good to, like, remind yourself, like, and also, like, things like the Lizzo controversy, like, there were some things that came out about that like cleared her of that scandal. And so it's kind of like, well, who do I believe? Do I believe the allegations against her, or do I believe the what, I don't even remember what happened where that sort of like cleared her of that scandal. Like, it's sometimes I think it's okay to not know. You just kind of have to live with knowing, like, I don't know what the truth is because I wasn't there. And if that makes you not want to listen to Lizzo anymore, like, that's okay. But
hey,
but I don't think you should. I don't think you should like put like a ton of like pressure on yourself to the point where it like stresses you out.
Yeah, I think you've just got to figure out what you're comfortable with, and like if you like have a moment where you're like, I really want to listen to this Lizzo song today, don't beat yourself up over it. Like, you're doing the best you can. Engage with, just try to live your life and make choices that make you feel comfortable. Support artists that you feel comfortable supporting, and this can't weigh you down. Like, you didn't do these things. You know what I mean? Like, you've just got to live your life, find where the line is for you, adhere to it when you can, and then if you don't, it's not a big deal. But also, you just got to keep it just with you. You can't expect other people to follow your same rubric.
Yeah, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, you're doing great.
There's always going to be the more that like people are out there on the internet putting themselves out there doing crazy things, and like the more you will come across people doing more problematic stuff that will have you sort of like questioning them.
Yeah.
It's just going to be out there now, and so I don't think you should put that much pressure on yourself to really be I don't even really know what I'm saying. Like, it's okay to not know what your stance is when it comes to, like, I don't know, Lizzo,
right?
Yeah.
So. Yes, but no, I think you're like much like Tyra Banks. Your intentions are good. And so I think you're already doing the right thing. And so, like, yes, just no matter what happens going forward, don't beat yourself up over it. You're doing the best you can. And that's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
So wait, Matt, is that the only one?
That is the only one, yeah.
All right. So does that mean we're on to Travis tracks?
I guess we are.
Let's do it. How did Travis feel this week? What year are we in? What's going on?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Travis Tracks. This is the section of the podcast where I go through the playlist I made my roommate Travis, who knows nothing about pop music, of 365 songs he needs to know. So we are in 2019 into 2020. So we are on to Miss Carly Rae Jepsen put out an album in 2019 called Dedicated, and my favorite Carly Rae Jepsen song of all time is on this record, and it is the song Want You in My Room.
Great
and
song.
Travis says, cute, it grew on me actually. At first I didn't like.
Okay, that's good. I love that it can grow on you while you're listening to it for the first time.
Yeah, and the song is literally like 2 minutes long, so it's like, this was really a journey for you,
That's
Travis.
quick.
Yeah. Next is from an album by Madonna, her most recent album, and it is called Faj Gustoso.
Oh my God.
I love this song.
You
It's
and
with
this song.
the singer Anita, who's from Brazil, and it's on the album called Madam X, which is a weird album, but this song is pure pop perfection. And Travis, of course, thinks it's sexy, and he's very into it.
Perfect. Well, I'm glad. I need to listen to it. I don't know if I ever listened to that album in full. And so I've heard you talk about this song so many times. I'm like, did I ever listen to that? I don't know.
You can just listen to the song.
I will.
The
Don't worry.
album is not your speed, I
Yes.
don't think. But we get to something that is really your speed, Matt Palmer, and that is Katy Perry's Never Really Over.
A classic.
A perfect song.
Yes.
And Travis says, it's okay. I don't know why it doesn't completely hit for me. I don't know why either, Travis.
I don't know why either. We should investigate. We should look within because you're missing something if you're not seeing the brilliance of this song. I feel.
Yeah, I know. It's like, what's that? Like, you don't hear that post-chorus?
Right.
Like, it's everything.
Everything.
I think it's my favorite Katy Perry song.
Okay.
So now we are on to a great era of time. Well, actually a really hard era of time, but a great time for music.
Perfect.
And that is Miss Dua Lipa's Future Nostalgia era.
Yes.
When she
Here
was
we
like,
go.
motherfuckers, we are dancing again, and I don't give a fuck what any of you have to say.
Yes.
Travis gets to the song Cool, which I think is the most underrated track on Future Nostalgia.
Agreed.
I love this song. And Travis says, I give it a B, almost B minus.
What does that mean? Literally for what? I mean, I guess it's not like a dance up tempo sexy quote unquote song, but it's brilliant. It's thrilling. It's
so
layered. It's gorgeous. It's fun.
And her little squeaks that she's giving, like in it, it's just so sexy and cool and like 80s. She's giving like hints of Michael in a weird way. I love it. But we get onto Physical. And Travis says, fine. I wish I liked it more. Maybe I've heard it too much.
Oh, okay. So this isn't a new song for him. Okay. Well, I wish you liked him. Did you not put Don't Start Now on this?
I didn't.
Oh, interesting.
It's never my favorite on Future Nostalgia.
Really? I didn't know that. You'd
Yeah.
put Physical over Don't Start Now?
Yeah. Oh, completely. Yes, absolutely. 1,000%.
I don't know that I would.
Oh, well, you're crazy. Anyway, next is Levitating from Future Nostalgia. And Travis says, I do really like this one. I knew she would pull through. I mean, it's a modern classic. So I guess he's heard this one too.
Yes, he must have. Brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm glad you played the original version, not the unnecessary remix with the homophobic
sure.
rapper. Yeah.
Sure. Now we get to an interesting choice for Travis. And that is the song Chinese Satellite by Miss Phoebe Bridgers.
Ooh, I don't know if he's
From
going to
her-
like this.
Her album Punisher.
Yes.
Travis says, I actually really like this, even though it's not normally my thing.
Okay. I wonder why. Did he explain what it was?
No, Travis isn't going to go that deep in his explanation. He's just going to be like, I like it, sexy, B minus, whatever. But the fact that Travis likes this ballad from this little alt girl, I'm into it.
I think that's great. Good for you, Travis.
is growing. He's growing. He's listening. He's learning. All right. Do you have a 2 gay minutes?
I don't think I do. I mean, I already talked about Jill Zarin for about 30 minutes during the regular podcast, so that would be my 2 gay minutes. Do you have one?
Okay. I don't know.
Okay, great. Do you want to jump into Give Me Moments?
Let's do Giving Me Moments, baby. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first. This is the section of the podcast where we talk about like content, things we've engaged with this past week, and what is giving us life as we go into the new week. And I just have to say, in preparation for the Best Sixth Albums video, I re-listened to Purple Rain after a while, and then re-listened to the very best of Prince compilation that's available on Spotify. Came out in 2001, and I feel Purple Rain. What a perfect album. I feel like we talked about in the video, but like the number of hits, the number of songs on this album that like are just within our bones as Americans, as people who love music. But I do think the standout of a song that like doesn't get mentioned often enough is Darling Nikki. Like this song feels like a prequel to so much sexy R&B music. Like this feels like he's like taking Dirty Diana by Michael and like really amping it up and like making it even more intense and sweaty and sexual. And I just love it so much. There's a lot of great shit on the Best of Prince also, but I just have to tell you, the songs Alphabet Street and Thieves in the Temple by Prince, I feel like are two very underrated gems from him. I also really love Diamonds and Pearls. That's a song that came out in the 90s. So like I remember when it was even released. I think he might have even been The Sign at that point and not Prince or whatever. But I feel like, you remember when you went through the process of going through and listening to every single Madonna album? I feel like at some point I need to do that with Prince, because I grew up being more of a Michael person than a Prince person, but my mom was always a huge Prince fan, and I know his music well enough, but not like album by album. I feel the same way about Stevie Wonder. It's like these are two people that like both my mom and Mariah Carey very much revere, and it's like if there are artists that they revere, I should really get to know them a bit more than I do. So I don't know. I just got to tell you, if you haven't listened to Prince in a while, you definitely should. Very talented person. Obviously, he's also so insanely prolific that the idea of going through his entire discography is so daunting, but I'm going to do it because the man is a talent. He's a talent. He's a brilliant musician who, was gone too soon. And so we love Prince. There's a song on Dirty Mind I really like too. Which one is it? Oh, I don't even remember which one it is. When You Were Mine, I believe, is the name of the song. Great song. We love Prince.
I love how you're Giving Me Moments was just like, that guy Prince, a talent.
I know. No one's ever thought about that. No one's ever considered it. And I thought I should break the mold and say, hey, you know who's musically talented? Prince.
Guys, you heard it here at 2 Game Ads.
Yes.
Prince gets the official stamp of approval. Congratulations, Prince.
Congrats.
You also had the Best Sixth Album.
Did?
Spoiler alert, I guess, if you haven't watched our bracket.
Matt Steele, what's been giving you moments, darling?
Well, I just want to announce to everyone that I have finally made it to the final season of Survivor in my Survivor binge. This week, I started Survivor 49, and it's the last season I have to watch out of all the seasons before I'm finally caught up and can watch season 50 in real time. And wow, is season 49 a terrible season of Survivor.
I love that what's been giving you moments is something awful.
The Giving Me Moments was like, I'm so proud of myself for doing this. I also have another like real Giving Me Moments in a second, but
right.
But they just did something exciting after I just got to the merge episode, and they did do something exciting there. But the first half of the season, woof, like the most boring game moves ever. And so I hear that this season does get better in the second half. So prove me right, season 49. But I'm just very excited that I am almost done this crazy binge, and I can now just watch the season live like a normal human being.
Yes.
Anyway, so
what are you going to watch?
Also,
sorry, someone asked in the Discord, what do you think are you going to binge something? Is there some other TV show or something you want to watch in place of Survivor once you're all caught up?
No. I'm not a let me binge this type of girl. Like, okay. I'm not a huge fan of binging in general. Like the idea doesn't really excite me. So no, unfortunately not. But I am going to be doing on our Patreon. I am going to be doing little Survivor episodes.
Oh, officially? I didn't know that was official.
Yeah. Unless the season sucks, and then I'll be like, I'm not talking about this anymore.
I'm excited. That's great news.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, I'm bad at talking like making videos by myself, but then as I edit them, I'm like, no, this was pretty decent.
It's good. It's more awkward to do by yourself, but then once you watch it back and edit, it's like, oh, this is fine. But like, it's easier when you're recording to be bouncing off of someone for sure.
Yeah, exactly. But I did see a movie this week, and it was a contender. It's a contender at the Oscars for best international film and also best sound, and it should be a contender for best score because the score to this movie was incredible. But it's the movie Surat. I believe a couple weeks ago I said that it was a French movie. I was incorrect. I believe the director is French, but the movie is a Spanish production company. So it's technically a movie from Spain, and it's wild. It is about this guy and his son go to this rave in the middle of the Moroccan desert, and this guy and his son are from Spain, and in the Moroccan desert in this rave are all these European ravers who literally just like live in these vans, and they go from rave to rave to rave to rave. This guy and his son are at this one rave, and they're looking around and handing people flyers, and the guy's like, my daughter, she's like young, early 20s, she ran away from home. She's been missing for 5 months, and we like think she might be at these raves. Have you seen her? Have you seen her? And so these people, he talks to like this group of 5 people at this rave, and they're like, no, we haven't seen her, but like she'll probably like maybe like there's another rave next weekend or something like hundreds of miles like in this direction, I think closer to Mauritania in Africa, if you want to like try that one next week. And they were like, okay, thank you. So in the middle of this rave, it gets shut down by the government, and they're just like, hey, all you people, the country is at war. Like this this like fictional World War III type scenario has started in the country of Morocco, and they're like, this isn't safe for you to be here. You need to leave this rave now. And they're like being very like forcefully like forced out of this rave, and you're sitting there as an audience member, just like, well, the notion is you're sitting there as an audience member being like, oh, fuck these military people trying to kick these people out who are just trying to have fun. Whereas me, a rule follower, I'm like, yeah, they should probably go. They should probably go for their safety. But that's just me.
Of course.
And so as this group of 5 people are leaving the rave, they sort of like drive away quickly from the line leaving to drive in the other direction to go to this other rave because they're like, nothing's going to stop us. Well, this guy and his son in the car behind them start following them because they're like, they know the way to the other rave, and so we can follow them and they'll lead us to the other rave. So hopefully we'll be able to find our daughter/sister. That's essentially the setup for the rest of the movie. And it basically follows these people traveling through the desert, trying to get to this other rave, and this poor guy trying to find his daughter. And in the middle of the movie, there is something that happens where it's so shocking that I did not believe it happened for like 20 minutes. I was like, they couldn't have possibly have done this. This is bonkers. This is batshit crazy. This is devastating. I refuse to believe this is reality. Like, there's got to be a twist at the end. Like, and then as it turns out, more things happen and everything, and then another giant, huge, unexpected twist happens in like probably like a little after 2/3 of the movie, and you're just like, what the fuck are we doing now? And it's just like, I'm not gonna like spoil anything, but it really just like punches you in the face, everything that happens. And it's like showing these people who've lived their lives so no rules, nothing's going to stop us and everything, and sort of the effects of that, and how that actually in turn affects other people in society, even if you're not even living in a part of society, or at least that's what I took out of the movie. Like, story aside, like visually it's so interesting. Like, the sound is truly incredible. There's so many moments where like music is utilized in such an interesting way, and the music is so interesting. It's like this like hardcore like dance rave music that you really feel like throughout the theater as you're like seeing the movie. It's really, really great. I really enjoyed it, and if it's still playing in theaters around y'all, check it out. I don't think it's like streaming anywhere at the point, but these 2 like twists, like I was just like, holy fucking shit.
All right.
Like truly like, oh my God. Yeah.
Wow.
And the performances are really good too. The ravers are played by these 5 people who I don't think are like actors. Like I don't think they have any other credits. And their names in the movie are literally just the actors' names.
Oh, cool. Wow, I guess we got to check that one out. I mean, I still need to watch Hamnet. Hamnet's the next one on my like Oscar to-do list, but I will be watching a few more before. I still have a month, right? Between now and the 15th of March.
You have a little less than a month. Oh, I thought it was March 12th.
Oh, in my head it's the 15th, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
I mean, when are the Oscars? Hold on. We got to tell the people. The Oscars are the 15th. You're correct. I was so fucking wrong.
Look at me. Loving movies, knowing dates.
A little less than a month.
All right. One last thing about Give Me Moments. I also have found and am falling in love with the Songs for a New World New York City Center 2018 Encores Off-Center cast recording, because you get to hear Stars in the Moon sung by Shoshana Bean and I'm Not Afraid of Anything by Saleha Pfeiffer. These are just 2 incredible performances. I like all of them, and especially I also like King of the World, which was done by McCall Kilgore. There are so many great high points in Songs for a New World, and getting ready for my, live performance at the Hollywood Bowl of the last 5 years, I've been revisiting more JRB, and I mean, I just remember so vividly the like summer camp, musical theater camp I was at, and like the Jason Robert Brown songs we sang there. And so hearing these new versions of them, I guess not that new, it's from 2018, but whatever, new to me, really makes my heart a flutter. I'm like, is I'm Not Afraid of Anything my favorite song of all time? It's up there. A perfect song.
Jesus.
I love it.
All time. Holy shit,
I love
girl.
it. I love it.
Oh, I mean, it's a brilliant piece of music.
Brilliant.
But the fact that you are giving a shout out in 2026 to the 2018 Songs for a New World Encores cast recording is way more musical theater gay than I will ever be in my entire life. So I am so proud of you, Matt Palmer.
Thank
this
you.
was beautiful.
Thank you for being proud. This is me. Gay. A spoiler alert. I am gay. Anything else you'd like to tell the people?
We love you all. Take care of yourselves and each other.
We love you all. Thank you guys so much for listening and or watching the podcast. And we'll be back soon with more 2 Gay Mats, the podcast.
Bye.
Bye.